In this video, we are going to discuss the important international organizations that are in news. If you observe in our prelims examination, there are at least 2 to 3 questions that are asked based on the international organizations, either based on the mandate of the organizations or the reports released by these international organizations or the index released by these organizations. Questions are being asked. This is the list of organizations that we are going to discuss in this particular video. World Trade Organization, World Bank, IMF, OECD, Asian Development Bank, EBRD and AIIB. These 7 let us discuss in first part, and later in different parts we will discuss all these 34 international organizations. Our first international organization is WTO, World Trade Organization. Why this was in news? When 11th Ministerial Conference of WTO was held in Nairobi, then there was no major agreement that was agreed upon by all the member countries. So there was a stalemate, and USA was considering to withdraw from WTO. Because of these two and other issues, WTO is in news. When WTO is formed, it was formed in the year 1995 under Marrakesh Agreement. Before this formation of WTO, to deal with the trade issues, we had GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. This was formed in the year 1947 and implemented in the year 1948. From 1948 to 1995, GATT continued. In the year 1995, under Marrakesh Agreement through Uruguay Round. So, Uruguay Round. What is this Uruguay Round? You might have heard about Doha Round of Conferences, etc. What is it? GATT and WTO, the present WTO, they have ministerial conferences. Ministerial conferences means all the member countries, they gather once for 2 years under ministerial conferences, and they take up negotiations and they give names for those negotiations. Uruguay round of negotiations continued from 1986 to 1994. So under that, this GATT is transformed into WTO. As of now, we are under Doha round of agreements. We should remember, Doha round of agreements is the one that is being negotiated under WTO. Under Uruguay round, based on the discussions only, GATT transformed into WTO. Its headquarters is located in Geneva, Switzerland. It has a general council. This general council takes care of the overall administration of this particular body. This general council acts as a dispute settlement body, trade policy review body, etc. It has overall 164 member countries. And this organization promotes free and fair trade. Free and fair trade promotion is the objective of WTO. For the all world countries, this is the objective. Next, we just discussed that there is a ministerial conference. This is the highest body under General Council. Under this, all the member countries, all the 164 member countries meets once in 2 years. And 11th Ministerial Conference was held in Argentina in the year 2017. And the 12th Ministerial Conference is going to held in the year 2019. That is in the present year, either in the months of November or December, this is going to start. Next, what are the functions of WTO? On this, there might be a prelims question. It is to help the trade flow smoothly and predictably. How WTO does this? By administering trade agreement, by acting as a forum of trade negotiations, by settling trade disputes, by reviewing the national trade policies. By these things, WTO helps the free flow of trade among the countries. There are different principles that guide the trading system under WTO. Few including most favored nation, national treatment, etc. Most favored nation means all the trading countries or all the member countries should treat all other member countries equally. So, all should be considered most favored nations. So, no nation should be favored or biased against. Then, the second principle is national treatment. When we have the investment or kind of production from the foreign country and from the domestic country. Country should not discriminate between the nationals and foreigners. Even foreigners also should be treated equally with the domestic players. That is another principle called as national treatment. MFN means treating all the member countries equally in terms of tariffs and other non-tariff barriers. So, like these, there are different issues under WTO, but this video is focusing on general framework related to prelims. That's why we are not going in depth. Now, let us see the reports of WTO. WTO generally gives two reports. One is World Trade Report and World Trade Outlook Indicator. These two are released by WTO. In most cases, they give the question like this. World Trade Report is given by whom? They give World Bank, WTO, IMF. Likewise, they give 3 or 4 options and OECD. Let's say this is the question. What is the answer? WTO. World Trade Report, World Trade Outlook Indicator. These two are given by WTO. Next international institution is World Bank. We have this system known as Bretton Woods system. After World War II, all the world countries gathered at a place in America called Bretton Woods. And under this conference, Bretton Woods Conference, world countries agreed that we should have some international organizations for financing, such as banking institutions, and we should have some international organizations for free and fair trade. So, for banking purpose, under this system, two important organizations are established: World Bank and IMF. For trade, they thought of having a World Trade Organization, but when this meeting was held in 1994, this WTO was not constituted. WTO constituted after Uruguay rounds in the year 1995. So this was not there. For banking related World Bank and IMF, these two are established under Bretton Woods system. That's why these two institutions are also known as Bretton Woods sisters or Bretton Woods institutions. Why World Bank is in news? World Bank chief is nominated by USA president. That's why this was in news. When was this formed? 1944. After the World War, immediately after World War II, this organization was established. Its headquarters is in Washington, D.C., New York. And World Bank is not a single institution. World Bank Group. There are 5 institutions managed by the members under World Bank. These are the 5 institutions. This is known as World Bank Group. Here if you see, first one is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD. This finances or this provides loans at the concessional rates. That means at lesser interest rates, loans are being provided to middle income countries and low income countries. For the development of these countries, loans are being provided under IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Second bank is International Development Association, IDA. This provides loans at concessional rates to the low-income countries, and it also provides grants. What is the difference between loans and grants? Loans means the country which has taken that amount should pay it back with the interest. But grants means if money is being given by this organization or this institution, the country need not pay it back. So low-income countries, poorest of the poor countries are given grants through this International Development Association. These two combinedly are called as World Bank, and there are other three institutions which collectively are called, these five are called World Bank Group. The third organization under World Bank Group is International Financial Corporation. This is specifically for the private sector investment. See, remaining organizations deals with governments, etc. Here, this IFC, International Finance Corporation, completely deals with the private sector. It provides finance to the private sector. It provides suggestions, guarantees, etc. to the private sector investments. Third one is MEGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. Let's say one country wants to invest through FDI in other country. Let's say this is a developing country, this is a developed country. So developed country might think, or the investors from the developed country might think, see, by investing in developing country, what if I am not getting the money back? So in such cases, MIGA provides guarantees in the form of multilateral investment guarantee agreements between the two countries. That is the function of MEGA. And then the final organization under World Bank Group is International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. If the countries are invested in different countries, or the companies from a country is invested in different countries, then if any dispute arises, then they can move to ICSID, or International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. These are five institutions as part of World Bank Group. Next, under these five institutions, what is the mandate or what are the functions of overall objective of WTO? One is to end the extreme poverty. How? By decreasing the people who are living on less than $1.9 income per day. So that is one objective. What is it? To end the extreme poverty. Second one, to promote shared prosperity. Prosperity in terms of income by increasing the income growth of the bottom 40% of the people of every country, not in one country, not in low income country, but in all the countries, by increasing the incomes of the below 40% of the people. World Bank wants to promote the shared prosperity. Next concept is reports. What reports are published by World Bank? Global Economic Prospects Report, Ease of Doing Business Report, World Development Report, Global Economic Growth Forecast. These are the four important reports published by World Bank. Very important. Previously, this question was asked. Ease of Doing Business. This report is provided by whom? Such kind of question already asked. The next institution is IMF. As we have just discussed, IMF is part of Bretton Woods system. Why IMF is in news? India and other countries wants the reforms in the IMF, especially the quota reforms. What is the meaning of quota? Initially, when a bank is established, every country who is member of this particular bank or institution contributes some amount. Based on the contribution of this money, they are given a percentage of responsibility or voting power. Specifically, voting power. This voting power is also known as quota. Quota is based proportionate to the money that they have contributed. Now, individual members' country quota is broadly reflects in the position of the world economy. Quotas are denominated, here in this particular case, we said voting rights. These quotas are denominated in SDRs, special drawing rights. This is the unit of account which can be used as a foreign exchange or as a voting power under IMF. That's why it is said as IMF's unit of account. And IMF is formed in the year 1945 after the Bretton Woods Conference. Its headquarters is located in Washington, America, and 188 member countries are part of this IMF. What is the major function of IMF? The money that is pulled through quota quota from different member countries is pooled at one place, and whenever a country is under BOP crisis, balance of payment crisis, then IMF lends money to that particular country. For example, now Pakistan is under BOP crisis and it is asking for IMF loan. So, IMF only extends the loan when the country is under balance of payment crisis, because its major function is to maintain the stability of the international monetary system. IMF abbreviation is International Monetary Fund. Its major function is to maintain stability in the international money system. So it manages the exchange rates by providing concessional loans to the countries under this particular quota system. Here, the mandate or functions of this particular organization is mentioned: to promote international economic cooperation, to promote international trade, to promote employment and exchange rate stability, make financial resources available to the countries with balance of payment needs. Whichever countries are needing the money for balance of payment needs, IMF provides loans. In the year 1991, India was under severe BOP crisis. During that period also IMF provided loan. But IMF's loans are linked with the structural adjustment reforms, or we can say structural adjustment. What is the meaning of this? Economic reforms. While giving the loan, it also says you should go through these kind of economic reforms. Structural, we call that as Structural Adjustment Facility, SAF. Economic reforms. That's why India at the time implemented LPG reforms. Likewise, whenever IMF gives loan, concessional loan, it promotes structural adjustment facility under which economic reforms are mandatory to be taken. Then IMF releases two reports: World Economic Outlook, Global Financial Stability Report. World Economic Outlook, Global Financial Stability Report. These two are released by IMF. Remember, reports are very, very important. The next organization is OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Why this was in news? This has released a report with regard to International Energy Agency. Because of that, OECD was in news. This organization was formed in the year 1961 through the Convention on the OECD. This is the convention signed in the year 1960. Under this convention, OECD is formed. Before this OECD, we had this group known as Organization for European Economic Cooperation. Organization for European means most of the European countries are part of it. Economy related cooperation. Organization for European Economic Cooperation. This was formed in the year 1948 when Marshall Plan. What is this Marshall Plan? After World War II, most of the European countries got destroyed economically became weaker. Then USA has offered a plan known as Marshall Plan, under which USA would be funding these countries. So to coordinate the actions under Marshall Plan, this Organization for European Economic Cooperation was formed in the year 1948, and this was removed through this particular convention, and OECD is formed in the year 1961 through this convention on the OECD. It is located in Europe, that is in Paris, France. What is the nature of this? It is an international organization with 36 member countries. Most of the OECD member countries are high-income economies with a very high human development index. We should remember that India is not a member of OECD. India is not a member of OECD. What is the mandate of this particular organization? To promote the economic and social well-being of the countries all around the world. Though its membership is limited, 36 members, but its objective is economic and social well-being of the all the countries in the world and all the people in the world. That is the objective or mandate of this organization. PISA, Program for International Student Assessment, is one of the reports released by OECD. There are n number of annual reports released by OECD. This is the important one. That's why we have given this PISA program. This year, India is going to be part of PISA, Program for International Student Assessment. That's why this might be a question. PISA assessment is provided by which of the international organizations? Which organization? OECD is the organization. Next international organization is Asian Development Bank. Asian Development Bank has provided Government of India with a loan of $150 million for the development of northeastern region. That's why it was in news. When this was formed, in the year 1966, Asian Development Bank formed. It is located in Manila, Philippines. What is the nature of this organization? This is a multilateral lending agency, banking agency similar to World Bank, and votes are distributed based on the capital subscription, similar to IMF. In IMF, voting is based on the capital that is being provided, that is known as quota. Here also the members' vote is based on the capital subscription. What is the mandate of this particular organization? It provides financing to both the sovereign countries as well as the private organizations. And it provides most of the loans to middle income countries and soft loans. There are two types of loans. Hard loans means interest rate would be higher. Soft loans means interest rate would be comparatively lower. For the poorer countries, soft loans. For middle income countries, hard loans are provided by this particular bank. And what is the mandate? It is to reduce the poverty in the Asia Pacific region and promote the sustainable growth. Annually, it releases a report known as Asian Development Outlook. This report is by Asian Development Bank. The question can be, Asian Development Outlook report is released by, then they give 4 options. ADB or Asian Development Bank is the answer. Next international institution is EBRD, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD. Why was this in news? India has joined as a member, 69th member in this particular European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Why this is important? When we become member for this particular bank, when we have dealings with other European countries, then this particular bank can provide guarantees to us. So trade would increase and we can borrow more. So the money requirement in terms of capital investment would be fulfilled. These are some of the advantages of becoming member of EBRD. Now, when this was formed in the year 1991. It is located in UK, London. What is the nature of this organization? It is an international financial institution that supports projects across 30 countries in not just Europe, Central Asia, South and Eastern Mediterranean. It has 65 countries. And 2 intergovernmental institutions. Recently, few countries joined. India is one of the member, 69th member of EBRD. What are the functions? It provides loans to those countries which follow democratic principles, and it promotes entrepreneurship and fosters transition to open market economies. For those to encourage open market economies, to provide loans to countries that follow democratic principles, EBRD is established. The next important international institution is AIIB. This is in news many a times. AIIB or Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank has approved $100 million of investment loan to National Infrastructure and Investment Fund, or NIIF. NIIF was formed in the year 2015 specifically to fund the infrastructural projects in India. So, to this, AIIB has given a loan. When AIIB was formed in the year 2016, it was formed. China is the largest stakeholder in this particular bank with 20.6% of share, and India is the second largest shareholder in this particular bank with 7.8% of share. Russia is the third largest stakeholder in this particular bank. This is one of the very significant banks after World Bank to have majority of the member countries. USA is not part of it, but Japan is there, UK is part of it, Australia is there. There are many developed countries which are part of it. USA is not there. Where is the headquarters for this? Beijing. What is the nature of this? This is an investment bank which approved loans in different countries. Most of the times, this lends loans to create investments, especially in the infrastructural sectors in the Asia Pacific region. Though the name Asian Investment Infrastructure Bank, but it also extends loans to other countries also. What is the mandate of this? To invest in the sustainable infrastructure and other productive sectors. Sustainable infrastructure. Along with this AIIB, Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank, we have another bank known as NDB, New Development Bank. This is sponsored by BRICS countries. What is the acronym for BRICS? Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. All these countries, they formed a grouping and they have proposed for NDB, New Development Bank. Under this particular bank, other members are not allowed as of now. Recently, they have asked for other members to be part of this, but as of now, only 5 member countries are there. Unlike AIB, all the 5 member countries have equal share. When they have equal share, what happen? Equal voting power would be there. Equal voting power, equal share. And the objective of this particular NDB or New Development Bank is to promote infrastructure and development in the BRICS countries. If the membership extends to different countries, the objective might change, but as of now, this is the one. And this NDB was proposed in the year 2014, but it came into effect in the year 2015 under this declaration of Fortaleza Declaration. Fortaleza is a place in Brazil. When BRICS meeting has happened in this particular case, the member countries of BRICS have taken this particular declaration. Under this particular declaration in the year 2015, NDB or BRICS Bank was formed, and its headquarters is located in Shanghai in China, and its chairman or CEO is KV Kamath, is an Indian person. KV Kamath is the present chairman for this New Development Bank or BRICS New Development Bank. With this, we have completed 7 topics in this particular part. Remaining 7 topics let us see in this part 2. Likewise, we are going to make 4 or 5 parts for this particular international organizations. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please comment it in the comment section.